Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I wanted to do a mini first impressions / tutorial on the Lorac Mega Pro 4 palette. I just recently received this in the mail as I did order it once it popped up on the Ulta website. So this is what she looks like. Super cute packaging. It is pink. It's got golden and silver lettering here, and this is what the palette looks like. Very interesting color selection. I feel like it definitely jumps around a little bit. We have cool and we have warm. It is quite unlike the other releases where the Mega Pro 3 kind of, and this is a really gross palette. This was my favorite palette last year. This one kind of stuck to a more rosy, coppery, whereas number 2 was a little bit more brown, and we had a few cool shades in there, some purples, and that green, man, is so beautiful. And then we have the OG, tried and very loved. This one looks a hot mess, but this one was more on the neutral kind of family. So all in all, I have a lot of eyeshadows that I should be using more, to be honest. I was like, I am not going to buy this palette, and what did I do? I bought this palette. Before we get started on the tutorial, please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also be sure to add me on all of your socials. I will link those down below for you. So to start this kind of first impressions video, I'll start with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, and I am going to apply that to the lids. I'm going to blend that in with a beauty blender. Now that we've got primed eyes, so I'm taking butterscotch on a Sigma tapered blending E40 brush, and I'm using that to set that concealer, focusing primarily on the brow bone. And right off the bat, I can notice that these are quite powdery and see a lot of kick up, which I think is normal with these shadows. We can see that there. I think this is my perfect brow bone color. So now I'm gonna go in with Mocha, and with that same brush, I'm going to work that into the crease. A lot more kick up here. Ooh, that is a darker color than I realized. That is definitely darker than I realized, but I really like the color. It is so pretty. Taking the shade Spice on a Morphe M433. That's how much I've got on the brush here after tapping off the excess. And I'm gonna work that into the crease. I'm gonna bring it in the slightest bit, but then I'll pick up a little bit more of that same shade and focus it on the outer V of the eye. So I took a little bit more on that same brush and just gonna focus it. On the outer V. And I'll do the same thing on the other eye. And I'll pick up a little bit more, tap off the excess, and focus it here on the outer V. I'm gonna take a ColourPop shader brush and I'm gonna dip it into Copper Pearl. And I'm gonna focus that all over the lid and lightly just kind of diffuse it into the shades here. Oh, that is magical. I have a little bit of fallout here. Alright, and now I'm gonna go back in with the shade Spice. Back into Mocha and work a little bit of that shade onto the outer corner, or the crease actually. Let me actually take some Fix Plus here, since I seem to have lost a little bit of that Copper Pearl. So yeah, this is definitely going to intensify the look a little bit. So I really like what we have going on. I'm going to clean this up a little bit and carry on with the rest of the face. So now we're going to move on to the lower portion of the eyes here. So far I like what I have going on upstairs. So I'm going to take a Morphe pencil brush, the M431, and I'm going to go in with the shade Butterscotch, and we're going to put that on the inner corner. And now we'll go in with that same brush onto the shade Mocha. I'm going to work that onto the outer lower crease. And I'm going to bring that in just the slightest. So I'm going to dip into Spice, and I'm going to work that onto the outer corner of the eye. And with an inner corner shader, I took the shade Taupe. Alrighty, and final thoughts from using the palette. I feel like the quality is just like the other Lorac Mega Pro shadows. I will definitely be incorporating this palette into future tutorials. I feel like the color selection, like I said earlier, is definitely interesting. These are definitely the shades that I gravitate towards the most. To be honest, I wear mattes a lot more when I do go in with eyeshadows. Do you need this palette? I feel like if you're like me and you've owned all of the Lorac Mega Pro palettes, this would definitely be something that you may want to invest your dollars in. This doesn't have a matte black shadow, and I think that if you were to travel with this, you would be very limited, you know, as far as looks to create. So we do have a shade called Shadow and a shade called Dark Chocolate. However, those are not black. But overall, I think for the quality, you know, it's definitely up to par with other Lorac palettes. And within this video, I will be sure to include swatches of each row. Alright, so this is what the packaging looks like, or at least the sleeve in which you receive your palette. The palette retails for $59. It is limited edition. You get 2 rows full of matte shadows and 2 rows full of shimmer eyeshadows. Here we have the other side. These are supposed to be velvety smooth, ultra pigmented with maximum payoff to perform wet or dry. So you can shade, shadow, define, and line your eyes just like a pro. And the inside is a little bit dirty already, as I did just now film a tutorial and I kind of dipped my finger into some of the darker shades. And now I will get to swatching the palette for you. I will start from top to bottom. Alrighty, so these are quite possibly the worst swatches to ever hit the internet. So this is the first row, and these are all matte shades. I think my favorite shades from this row are definitely Butterscotch, Cedar, and Mocha. Denim is a beautiful color as well. And next we have the second row of mattes. My favorite shades from this row are Oat, which is the second to the left, Sugar Cookie, which has a little bit of a shimmer to it as well, and Mahogany, Blackberry, and Spice. So now we're on to the first shimmery row, and holy cow, are these beautiful or are these beautiful? My favorite shades from this row are Honey, Copper Pearl, and Peacock. But surprisingly, I also like Pearl Slate, which leans a little bit on the cool side, and the shade Moss is really pretty, as well as the color Steel Wool. Cool, and now we're on to the very last row here. Unicorn, which is this shade right here, has a really pretty shift to it. It's got kind of like a purpley green shift to it, and that is a really pretty shade. I don't know if I could personally pull that off, but my favorite shades from this column are Silver Fox, which is this little guy right here, and maybe Vamp. Raven is a darker shade with some silver glitters in it. This shade here in Fairy Tale is really pretty as well. So if you love this formula and if you love getting a huge bang for your buck, I think this palette is great. And that does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! I just have so much hair on my face right now.